Backyard Farm. This is the second part of our bucket system gardening and mixing the soil for the buckets. As you can see, I've already done the leveling of the trough system. We have 6 troughs. We're going to have tomatoes and bok choy and everything out here. But let me go through what we're doing. In the past, I had a wheelbarrow full of dirt and using a hoe to mix all this soil. No more. Get too old for manual labor. So, I upgraded. Follow me. I went to Lowe's and bought a Cobalt cement mixer. They were about $300, but I figure within the next couple of years it'll pay for itself with just getting the garden in one day instead of 3 days. I tried to get the garden in before Mother's Day, but I got a little late this time. So what I do is during the fall months, I put the sawdust down on the floor and the nest boxes for the chickens, and in the fall when I clean the barns, I take that manure and sawdust mix and I put it onto a blue tarp away from the house and let it compost throughout the winter, and it makes good rich soil. So that's what I've got here and that's all from that. I've got one more load of this. What I do is I add 1 shovel of this to 2 buckets. Alright, these are the buckets from last year. Still got the soil in them. All you do is pick a few leaves out of it. Whatever other mass, and that goes into the garbage box. And then you just dump the bucket in here. Make sure that the neti cup is clean. Set that off to the side. Any weeds you see, or roots, just pull them out. Throw it in the weed pile. The chickens will eat those and enjoy that later. Alright, take 2 buckets of this. Put it into the wheelbarrow. And that's some nice rich soil. I don't know if you can see that or not, but when I get done mixing, this is what it's going to look like. I've already done a batch. That's some nice soil for your tomatoes or peppers or anything else. Alright, so now I will take those 2 buckets. Now let that mix for a second. I'll take 1 good heaping shovel of the manure sawdust mix. Put that in there. And I have a box of peat moss. And I'll take a nice heaping shovel of that and put it in there. Now I'll be careful putting this in there because it's really dusty. Alright, and we'll let that mix. And while that's mixing, I'll use up what I've already got mixed. Follow me. Alright, now for what goes into the neti cups, you need potting soil, and it needs to be a mud. You know, it's just like if you were playing mud pies as a kid. Great stuff. What I did is I took a square bucket, cut a hole in it, and using it for a stand, the net cup, and I filled the bucket with water so that it doesn't tip over on you. Set the net cup into the hole. Take a nice scoop of the mud, something to pack it down with. Packed it into the net cup just like that. Don't worry if you get a little more, won't hurt nothing. Or anything. You're proper. Takes about 4 round shovels full. Smooth it out. See any weeds, throw them into your lawn. Give it a little shake. And it's ready for the trough. And that's all there is to it. Then all you do is, once you get your buckets all full and you feel satisfied, your troughs are full of water, make sure your troughs are full of water before you put the potting soil buckets on there. That way it keeps that potting soil moist. We've had good rain for the past couple of days, so my troughs are full anyhow. But once you get them full and put your plants in there, you just monitor your water in your troughs, make sure that always have water, and your plants are good to go through the summer. Then during the first couple of weeks, you'll see a few weeds coming up around your tomatoes. Your tomato plant will be in there. You'll see a few weeds. These are waist high. No way a rabbit or woodchuck or anything's going to eat your garden off. The tomato worms can't get to it. Your tomato plants are up to here. You get a few weeds, you just take an afternoon or an hour. You could do the whole garden in an hour of weeding. Just weed out your bucket. I only have to weed twice. The first time when the weeds are really thick, takes a couple of minutes to clean a bucket out. You're not watering the weeds. You're not encouraging the weeds to grow. Once they're all out of the buckets, you're good for the summer. You can spend your time with the kids, backpacking, picnicking, whatever you like to do. You're not concentrating on picking weeds out of a garden for the whole weekend. So hopefully this has helped you and give you some ideas. Maybe you could modify it so that it works for you. But the way I've got it, I don't have any bending for mixing soil or getting the buckets ready. The only back bending job I had was leveling up the troughs. Once they're level, they're good for the season. Never have to bother with them again. Alright, hopefully you like this video and give it a thumbs up, and come visit us again when you get a chance at Popel's Backyard Farm. This is Clay signing off. God bless. Bye-bye.